Hey there, this is going to be a tutorial on how to use the block mod for RWMC. So, if you don't know what the block mod is, basically it's a new mod that just got added to the server that adds over 2,000 new blocks. So, lots of blocks. So, the problem is that they get palletized. Right now, we're using the shoreline path that, so you can see, green, pink, stuff like that. So, we want to update this room to use the new mod. First thing we want to do is set our own palette. There are a few ways to do this. Easiest one, using the new room tool, you can left click, right click, left control again, and here you can select the exact room. So if I select Industrial Complex, this is room HIW15, one of the new Watcher ones. And then you can see the palette here. The room tool is broken right now. It will crash your game if you try to use it, so I'm not gonna. But in the future it will hopefully be fixed, and this will be the easiest way to set a new room. So instead, I'm gonna go to one corner, /pause1, other corner, /pause2, /set biome, rain world, industrial complex, HIW15. Alright, so that's the biome. Another way to do this, if you were in the practice world or something and you didn't want to set a biome, go into video settings, shader pack settings, palettes. You can use forced settings and then set these to whatever you want. So I think it was like something like 6112 for this palette. Yeah, that looks pretty close. So that will set every room to that color, regardless of which biome it's in. But for now, I'm going to use current location. Alright. So, now we need to start setting the blocks. You can do this using World Edit or Axiom. I like World Edit, but if you're doing anything larger than like few 100,000 blocks at once, you should use Axiom because it's a lot better for the server. It causes a lot less lag. So, I'm gonna find the blocks I want. We have bricks, concrete, big metal, dirt. So I'm gonna find which layers I want. We use same system for layers as Rain World. So if I grab 6 blocks, one for each layer, you can see generally get closer to white the farther you go on. This is the same for most palettes. Some like Skylands might fade to yellow or something, but a lot fade to white. You do not need to use the palettes as Rain World does. So what I mean by that is generally closest to the camera, layer 1, that's all the stuff you can walk on, layer 1 and 2 maybe. Then farther out, layer 3 and 4, farthest out, layers 5 and 6. You don't have to do that. Use whichever colors you like the best. Most rooms, I'll stick to layers 1 through 3, never even touch the later layers. Probably going to do the same for this. Another thing to know, they have shadows too. Interior rooms, that's pretty much all you're going to see, so work with those. Alright. So, first thing I'm going to do, replace all the bricks. Replace, I think those are bamboo mosaics. We have the Rain World block mod, bricks, 1, let's try 1. Alright, that looks good. You can see the shadows here, some are dark, some are light. Sun up there. Now let's do concrete, which is bricks. bricks, concrete, one. Let's do one again. Hey, looking good. So a lot of blocks have worn and clean variants. Most cases you really can't tell a difference. I like using one for everything, but it's completely up to you. Alright, next thing, dirt. Dirt is only used in the walls in this room, so I'm gonna keep it a high layer. Sometimes I like setting it to like layer 6 when it's just used for debris to make it stand out, but in this case I think a low layer will look better. Place dirt, and it's just called dirt. Let's try layer 2. Does that stand out? Kinda like it. How does it compare to layer? Oops. How does it compare to layer 1? I think since this is just a wall, I don't want it to stand out, so I'm just gonna use layer 1 here. Okay. Nether gold ore. That is big metal. Nether gold ore. Big metal. 1. Let's do 2. Just to make it stand out a bit. Alright, now we have brick slabs. We do have slabs, stairs, vertical slabs, walls, fences, and buttons for every single block. So, plenty of options to choose from. Okay, bricks. Change that to brick slab. Important, you need to put a caret here when working with blocks with block states. Otherwise, those won't save. Concrete 1, slab 1. So those are all still facing the right way. Then we have some copper ore. That is metal. Copper ore. How does metal 2 look? I like that. Stands out a bit more. I have a bit of andesite. I think that's meant to be trash blocks. So, trash, clean. Let's do 6. Just add a little bit of color. Just stands out. Okay. So then we have light blue stained glass. I'm gonna do stained glass and panes with this. You can't change glass panes to vertical slabs facing the right way because the block states they use are different, unfortunately. So I'm just going to replace them all to full blocks, and we're going to use small pipes for these. So, place light blue stained glass and light blue stained glass pane. 2 small pipes. 1. How does 2 look? 2 is a bit too light. Some blocks are lighter than others. It's like you can see here. That's layer 2. This is also layer 2. Very different. So, takes a bit of trial and error. I'm just gonna go with layer 1 for these. Looks good. Okay. Are there any other normal blocks? I'll do brick stairs as well. So just go back to when we did brick slabs, change that to stairs. Okay. I guess we need glow lichen to be changed. Glow lichen and debris. So glow lichen, we're gonna need to keep the caret, And then that can be changed into rain moss dead. And then small debris, we need to do something different with that. So that's dead fire coral. We need to remove the carrot, change it to debris small, and then facing, or no, down equals true. If you don't do that, then it won't work. They will just turn into a ball of debris like that. Okay. So, looks like that's all the normal blocks. So now we're on to the models. I'll do the plants later. So, these, let's see, these are fan boxes and Dyson fans. I'll grab a layer 1 and 2 of each of them. So let's break one that's already there and place it. And we need to do these by hand. So copy paste, rotate this around. And I'm going to rotate this one around. And there we go. So, important thing to know with a lot of these models, you can rotate them but not flip them. I think these you could flip because they're just 3x3, but with the more complicated ones like vent hubs, flipping them just breaks them. Yeah, just going over every one of these. That's all the normal ones. Now I need to get all of these. Just a few fans left. And I think that's it. I guess I missed a few down here. I'm gonna leave the vent hub because that's complicated. Alright, so now that we've done all of those, there are only a few things left. We need pipes, we need gears, wires, and those girders. I'm gonna do these first because they're very simple. We have blocks for all of these. I'm gonna use layer 2 thick beams. Hardest part is finding the actual block for these. Jungle leaves. There we go. So then we need to place this. Surround it with barriers again, and just there we go. Simple as that. Gears, very easy too. We have a block for those. There we go. Valve. We can remove the display entity, place it with an actual block. Okay. Plants. Gonna replace. Well, what plant do we use? Looks like the seed pods. Allium. Seed pods. And a whole bunch broke while I was doing the edits. If you replace the block under an illegal block, then it'll usually break. So, I'm just gonna need to replace most of these. Alright. Okay. These things, we use block displays right now, but we have a block for them. Sprawl bushes. So, remove these. There we go. We do have a large variant. I don't know of a single room in the game where we need these. It is kinda big. So, yeah, pretty much always use the small ones. I'll remove this one as well. Oh, I got too far away from the biome, so you can see it's all shoreline palette now. If I go back in, back to the right one. Okay. Pipes. I'm going to use layer 1 for these. Grab them all. This step takes a while. There's no easy way to do it by hand, unfortunately, so yeah. Thankfully, this room doesn't have too many pipes. Okay, so we also have dead bushes. Those, we have hang roots. I think I'm gonna replace them all with hang roots middle 2. Right, one of these middle blocks looks good. Is it 3? Yeah, middle 3. Right, so replace dead bush with thick roots middle 3. Okay. And I think the last thing is the wires. Yeah, all the pipe entrances look good. So yeah, these, we have actual blocks for them. We don't use display entities anymore. I'm going to swap to a hotbar where I have all these wires. Can remove these and place an actual wire. Can be hard to place right. Just make sure both ends aren't floating. That's the most important thing. You won't be able to place them everywhere. We only have so many wire designs, so just do what you can. And you can also rotate them. So depending on where you look, they get rotated. So I'm going to see if I can figure out how to connect one to this gear. It's not looking good. That's good enough. So yeah, layer 3, wire 3 is going to be the one used the most often, because that's just short wires. 1 and 2, kind of really tall, and then 0. 0 is also pretty good. There's also long and short variants of each, but this is a small room, so pretty much only going to be using small wires. Curves, I might be able to use wire 2. Probably not. It goes too high. Yep. Alright. I don't think there's a wire that would work. Unless one works here. Okay, wire 1 works here. Just a few more to go. Can I curve this, or does that stick out? I can't curve these. Can curve this one, though. Maybe. Yeah. Alright. Is that all? One more. Okay. So, that's how to convert a room to the block mod.